Hello, my name is Esther Maria Andujar. I'm a Puerto Rican writer aspiring to be a hybrid career author, and I am also a 3-year-old baby in the author in the romance sphere as of right now. I have one very active pen name and then another one that started in Kindle Vella, and I am going to debut it in like just general as full length books um in 2026. So the topic today is what are going to be my marketing strategies for the I got three pen names here for the strategies for this three. I decided to share this three because they are substantially different to worth one talking about and kind of like inform you guys how things are doing with those marketing strategies with a pen name that has 2 years and almost a dozen of books out, and then other two pen names that are debuting that are in different um they're both in romance, but one is a paranormal romance, and the other one is more in the later in life romances. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. I'm gonna go ahead and use my phone so you'll see me reading a little bit over here. Is because I do have the notes for those marketing strategies. And even if you're able to stop and like try to read and see if you can find the pen name, there is only one that is actually using the first name of the pen name. The other ones are using code names. So that's why I'm like flashing it every so often. Nothing really um that will out any of the pen names that I have secret. So I'm gonna start with Mireya Navar, which is the pen name that I have disclosed because I initially started writing Marina the Vampire under my name, but when it got like pretty bloody and gruesome, and I'm like, this is not exactly the type of book I want future readers of Esther Marie and do her books to read. So let's go ahead and switch it to a pen name. But because there's already accounts online, like videos and things like that, like people know that this phase is behind those stories. So I'm like, at least name wise, people will know, oh, anything that Esther writes or Mireya might not be um, exactly for like young readers. Like maybe if you're 17, 18, 19, maybe you can stomach them. And I say maybe because every 17, 18, and 19-year-old have uh, different thresholds for how much gruesome things they can manage. But at least there is a clear sign that in the name that this is not for young readers. This is paranormal romance for adults. So because I do have my face attached to that pen name, um, I am going to try a lot of the things that I wish I could do with social media marketing, with the other pen names, but because I don't attach a face and one of the pen names, it's not gonna have social media. I am not going to be able to do that with those, but I can do it with Mireya. So I have social media marketing on TikTok and Instagram. That is currently where most of the paranormal romances readers are. So I have it here to mainly create short content videos about writing the series. I decided to do that because the series that I'm working on is a 10 book series, with each book with a different couple, but the ladies are members of the same witch coven, and there is a overall king series arc um that it involves the entire coven. I also gonna do carousels and slides, which carousels and slides are the same thing. It's just that carousels are more of like an Instagram term and slides are more of a TikTok term. And that I will use early quotes and scenarios of the book. And this is something that I have done already with Sally. So I am a little more used to do this type of content. The one talking about the series, that's gonna be an interesting thing. And then I do have a email marketing strategy. With this one, I am only gonna do warm exclusive content. So additional epilogues, additional scenes, cut scenes, things like that. That will be at the back matter of the book. So those who finish the book will see it, and then because they're already, I mean, if they ended the book, they're already invested. I hope so. In the characters, so they are more prompt to sign up for the newsletter to get that additional content and any additional future content. For Mireya, I am not gonna do cold email marketing, which is doing reader magnets in free books to get readers before sales books, before the books that I'm selling are out. I am gonna do the that specific strategy to see how it goes. And I also, with Mireya, I'm gonna do art readers through Booksprout, which is a art reader and reviewers platform. Um, I will do, I think the one of the lowest tiers, which is just for like one author, and I think it's $9 a month. Um, I still not. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. If I decide to do art readers, art reviewers through Booksprout for the other pen names, I will just do separate accounts. Um, that way I can, have it separate, both accounts wise and both like accounting financial wise. So those are gonna be the three strategies I'm gonna try with Mireya, which is gonna be pretty much a debut author, even though it has been around thanks to Kindle Vella few years, couple of years, 3 years ago. That will be the exact time. But because Kindle Vella doesn't exist anymore, there is no like author profile that I can be like, yeah, I've already existed. I already started publishing stories. It's, it is an interesting case. Let me talk about Sally. So Sally is, my experimental child, is the one that does the short contemporary romances that, like I've said before, I'm struggling to keep them short, but there will be there I don't think there will be full length as of yet. So they probably gonna stay between 25 to 35K. So novelettes, I think that's the term. Anyways, for Sally, um, I am going to try sales marketing through KDP to get eyes on the book. If you are enrolled in KDP Select, which is the program for Kindle Unlimited, you do have access to either do a free book or or a sales countdown for each book, each period, so each 90 period that you have the book enrolled. There are some caveats like you have to have the book enrolled for X amount of days. I will highly, 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 highly recommend you to go and read the terms and conditions for all of those marketing opportunities. Um, do not rely on just this video or just videos of random to get all your information. Do get the information from the source directly. So go and read the requirements. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the link to that in the description, so at least you have the link for it, so you can read the requirements. And what I have set up in my calendar, at least for the first quarter, because I'm gonna see how it is doing. I am gonna have some free books, and I'm gonna have some sales books. There's gonna be a sales that's gonna kind of like gear up to a release. So I'm gonna try a lot of sales marketing strategies and tactics to see how read through and sales and pre-orders get affected by that. Um, I Besides that sales that I talk on my shorts, I did an additional sale for one of my early books, like right in between, I think it was from the 23rd to the 27th of December, if I remember correctly. And I pretty much just told my newsletter, and then towards the end of that period, I set up a singular post each day on my Instagram. I didn't even put anything on TikTok. And I'm pretty much just let them know to my newsletter, hey, like this has been a wonderful year. I adore having you guys. You guys have been wonderful. Here's a free book, and stay tuned because next year I'm gonna try to do more of these things. So kind of like letting them know that if they kind of like wanna have the chance to get more free books in the future, they should stay in the newsletter. Um, so that is kind of like to vote to the newsletter subscribers who we all know we have them they just get free books. They ever very rarely buy any books. It is also for the people who cannot right now buy books because the economy. Um, and is also for those who have been in the newsletter but have no time and it has not passed through their mind to check out any of my books because life, like, it's an overall reward for staying in regardless of of their situation. um and maybe there's someone that just out of nowhere saw it. It did rank. I will have to check. It was top 100. I just don't remember exactly the position, but it ranked in the was it the 2 hour category or the nine, whichever short romance time category that book was in, it was a top 100 book, free book. Um, so there's that. So I'm anticipating trying a few sales marketing things through the year for Sally and see what it does. Um, I'm also going to continue the email marketing with Sally. I do both cold and warm email marketing. So I do sample chapters, I do exclusive scenes that are in the back of the back matter of the book. And I also slowly but surely finishing. I think at this point I have one or two books that will be free. So there's that. So I will be doing those two. Um, it has worked pretty well for me, especially the sample chapters. We shall see what having additional exclusive scenes at the end of the books does for my email newsletter. And also we shall see what the free books do. And I will also continue my social media marketing on TikTok and Instagram for Sally. I do post on Sally's Facebook, but those are reposts from Instagram. I really don't have a better strategy for Facebook, honestly. Most of the readers on the genres that I write for Sally are on TikTok and Instagram. And those are faceless accounts. So there's not, this face is not there. There's no face at all. Um, but when I am consistent, and I'm not saying consistent as in daily, I'm saying consistent if I'm like posting 3 times a week, I'll post 3 times a week, things like that. It does keep my sales pretty balanced. Because 2025, I did 2 experiments. And I have I don't know where is it there? I don't know where the notebook is at, but I had a planner for social media and I had all the data there, and it did pretty well. So I'll stay with that. Now, my third pen name that I have pretty much not mentioned anywhere, so it's kind of like new to everyone who is listening to this. The only thing I'm gonna say is gonna be in the later in life romance. Editor Esther here. Um, I'm interjecting here for a hot second. I'm gonna leave all this information about the third pen name and the marketing that I want to do for it. Regardless of the decision that I have taken as of right now, the end of January, though I think I did talk about this a little bit earlier. But I have taken everything related to that pen name off my calendar and off my plate. Before my mom ended in the hospital. If you read one of my community posts, probably the most recent one, I canceled the rest of my streams for January because my mom is in the hospital. And I don't know, there was something in my intuition. It might not have been related about that, but I just took it out. But I am leaving that information in the video because I think they are great suggestions for writers who know their readership is not on social media, or they want to risk it, because it is a risk, to not have a social media marketing strategy, even though the readers are on social media. But I decided to leave it there just to give you some information about it. I'm As of right now, that pen name is not in my calendar production, it's off my plate. If in 2026 I reach a point where I can bring it back and debut it in 2026, I will let you know on a video, but I just wanted to interject to let you know this information is good, it's accurate, but I don't think I will be able to do it on 2026 because I have to pull back quite a bit to roll with the punches of life and keep taking care of my mom, which is my priority, honestly. So, yeah. That has been the category that I've been reading um sort of lately, and that I have seen, especially in the year 2025, how is growing, and it's growing in readership a lot. And I do see that the authors that are in, like, I cannot say that they're breaking their backs, but they're doing a lot to feed the market. And when that happens, it means that there's something there. I'm also reaching the age where 20 young 20s characters in that age doesn't do it for me. At least in the romance genre. Um, and you will say, but Esther, don't you write YA or things like that? I'm like, yeah, I do. In my head, it's kind of like it's different. It's very different. Like, what I write under Esther is pretty much for my younger self. And the stories that I wish I had. And then as an adult, a lot of the things that I would like to see in books as an adult, I write them on the pen names. So this pen name, this readership is older. So yes, there are like Generation X and millennials are getting into that slowly but surely, and they are tech savvy, they are on social media, but still the majority of the readership for later in life romances, they are not really in social media. They might have accounts, but they don't use it. Especially, they don't use it to find books. They already have a set way, or they know how to search the type of books they want to search. They want to read. They know how to search them. So I was like, yes, I don't need to do any social media for this pen name. Yes. So this one I will be heavily relying on email marketing. So I am a little bit over halfway done with a reader magnet. So I can release it 1 or 2 months prior the first release for this pen name. Um, Depending on the length of the books, if they land in the 60K or more, I am gonna try a tactic that I have seen from multiple authors that are constantly ranking in like the top 10. They take their entire story, and I have read a lot of the books that they have. Um, they take the entire story and they cut it in sections that make sense, that do kind of like have a arc to it, and a lot of it in cliffhangers or semi cliffhangers, and they release those parts weekly until the is completely out, and then they create a box set for the entire story and release that. I've seen a lot of them release it a few months later. If the books that I read under that pen name land on that amount of word count, then I will look at the story and see where it makes sense that I can cut it, and that is also a cliffhangy kind of section, and release them weekly. Usually that means the book is going to be 99 cents, it's going to be on Kindle Unlimited. But for like voracious readers, that kind of like works. Now, if they're a little bit shorter, like let's say 35, 40, 45, 50K, I am just going to release it as a whole. Because the interesting thing about that subsection in the romance genre is that they equally have full length books or novella length books releasing. Some of them are monthly, some of them every 2 months, and some of them every quarter. But also, they have an equal amount of books that are 60, 65, 70, 70K worth that they are getting caught between 4 to 6 parts and are being released weekly. And I'm like, okay, depending where word count the stories land, that's what I'm gonna decide, because I want to try and see how it pans out. So I will approach it as a rapid release. Just how rapid it is gonna depend on the word count, honestly. Because if it ends up being like 30K or 40K, it really doesn't make sense to cut it. That just no, that wouldn't work. So that's part of it. I do have a caveat with social media. If at any given point there is a good amount, I'm not saying one or two people, I'm saying like 15, 20, 25, 30 people, 30 readers who are like, do you have a group? Do you have a Facebook group? Or where can we find you on Facebook? Then maybe I would do a Facebook group for this pending, but it's only if it's requested by readers, and it has to be a seizable amount for me to spend time engaging with them. Because if it's just a couple of them, I can engage with them through email. Um, so that's pretty much it. So just for a summary, real quick, but it's just gonna be social media marketing, email marketing, warm email marketing, and our greeters for Sally is gonna be sales marketing through the KDP Countdown or the free books through KDP, the email marketing, both cold and warm email marketing, and I'm gonna keep doing the social media marketing that I've already established for Sally. And then for that other pen name that I will not say, I'm not even gonna say the code name for it. It's gonna be heavily email marketing, and um some kind of version of rapid release, because these are the things that I decided based on the readership on that subset in the romance genre. So once 2026 kicks in, probably I will make kind of like a um update touchdown report video towards the middle of the year, so maybe June, July, to let you know how those marketing strategies have pan out because I think 6 months is a good amount of time for me to give you an idea. Also, I think by that time, each pen name will have a book out, um, at the very least for that year. So, for that year, for this year, 2026, because even though I'm recording it, that you're gonna see this next year on 2026. So, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments and I'll go ahead and answer as best as I can. If I think it will be better kind of like in a short video, I'll do that and tag you or something along that line. Or if it's better a longer video, oh, you might see it sometime during this year. So yeah, that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you are a new in the author interested in learning business side of the thing that we're doing, which is writing books and selling them. Um, if you're not, but you do enjoy the content, please do subscribe too. And with that, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.